Assalamu alaikum. This is Muhammad Fahim Musani. A very warm and blessed Ramadan to all of you. In today's session, we are going to discuss table. What is table? The word table brings us the concept of rows and columns. As you all know that Excel is a spreadsheet based tool. It has some columns and rows in it. But in Excel, table is a specific feature. It is a combination of sale It is a combination of a range of cells grouped together which has a unique name. Let's explain this in practical. I have some data here in this spreadsheet here. As you can see, there are some columns and there are some rows as well. It looks like a table. It is a table, but for Excel it is not table. To make it Excel table, we need to convert it and define it as a table. How can we do that? Select the entire range of data or range of cells which we want to convert into table. Then go to Insert menu, select Table. It will ask you the range which you want to convert into table. Then it will ask, my table has headers? Yes. Okay. Now this data or this range of cells is now converted into Excel table. How do I know that? Currently I have selected this cell outside this range of table. You can see there is no table design option. But when I select a cell within this range, you can see table design option is activated. This means that this data is a table. Now, how to name a table? Go to table design, table name, you can change the name of the table. By default, it has table 2. For example, I want to give it name sales 2023. That is it. Now, as we have converted the data into table, now let's see what are the benefits of table. There are various benefits of table. We will discuss here some of the key benefits which are very helpful for us. We will discuss here some of the key features which are going to be very helpful in efficient data, Now we have converted the data into a table. What are the benefits of this table? There are various benefits of table in Excel. But here today we are going to discuss some of the key features that can make our work much easier and efficient. Let's have a look. This table is automatically expandable. What does that mean by that? For example, I want to add a new column here. Say for example, liters sold. You can see this new column is automatically included in this table. That means table has expanded itself automatically. Now, if I want to perform some calculation here in this new table, in this new column, let's multiply this size in liter with packs sold. You can see this table has automatically expanded the calculations. That means it has auto-filled the calculation down there. That means it has automatically filled the calculations down the line. This is called auto-fill and auto-expansion benefit. This is called auto-fill and auto-expansion feature of table. Now let's perform some other calculations here. For example, we want to calculate sales here. It would be sales in liters multiplied by price per liter in PKR. That is it. Now, if I scroll down, you can see here one more benefit of table. You do not need to freeze your pen to understand which column you are looking at. The heading of the column is coming up there automatically. Now, one more benefit of table. If you go to table design, you can see there are several table options. You can see there are several table options there. One of the most useful option is total row. Let me activate this. When I checked it, you can see that a total row is added here automatically. I can also add total row here by selecting this drop down menu, and I want to have some here, and I want to have some here. I can also change this sum to, for example, other calculation, average or min or count, as per my need. Let's go back to sum here. Now, one more feature of table is slicer. What is slicer? Slicer is actually filtration of data. For example, I want to slice the data by the sales rep name, or I want to slice the data with the region name. Let's insert some slicers here. Go to table design, insert slicer. Then it will ask you which field or which column you want to use as slicer. Let me take sales rep here. Sales rep here. I can move it. I can resize it. I can add further columns here. Oh, that's fine. I can recolor it. I also want one more slicer here now. I want a slicer of, say for example, region here. Resize it, replace it, move it, add 2 columns, change the color. Now, if I select any particular sales rep, you can see the data is automatically filtered for Ahmed sales rep only. And if I want to further filter it for North 1 sales only, here you can see the table is automatically filtered for these 2 particular criteria which I have given here. And the total number is also changing here. Now, I have one more data here, which is sales of 2024. Let's convert this into table again. There's one more shortcut of creating tables, which is Control T. My table has headers, yes. Now let's add liters sold here, liters sold, and then sales. Liters sold is size in liters multiplied by pack sold. You can see this autofill is very efficient for me to calculate the data. There I go. Now I have 2 sales table. Let's rename this table as sales 2024. Okay. Let me add one more column here, month. You will get to know why I am adding this column in later stage. Let's use the formula text. I'm sure you're aware of this formula text. Date. I want name of month. Let's do the same here. Text. Let me do this a bit faster. Now remove the slicer or clear the slicer. Okay. Now, one more feature of Excel table is the name of the. Now, one more very useful feature of the table is structured reference. What is a structured reference? Let's have a look. If you look at this formula here, I have multiplied liters sold with the price per liter. But this is not showing the column reference or cell reference as we see in usual. That is A1, B1, C1, C2. Instead of that, it is showing some name of the column. liters sold, price per liter. This is actually a naming convention of tables, which is called a structured reference. It has a structure, it has a structured name to refer to each cell or each component of the table. What is the syntax of that structured reference? Let's have a look. You can look at this. This syntax of, you can look at this. This structured reference consists of three main components. First is table name, second is item specifier, and third is column name. Now, what is item specifier? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different item specifiers. By the table name, it is obvious that the name of the table. Item specifier means the item specifier which we want to discuss, we'll discuss here later, and then the name of the column which we want to refer to. Now there are 5 different item specifiers. We'll use them each one by one in practical now. Let's refer to sales 2023. You can see this. It shows the list of the tables in this workbook. You can just select that and press tab. Now, as per the syntax of the structured reference, I have to give one square bracket. Then I have to give one more square bracket to refer to the item specifier. I want to use item specifier of header, hashtag headers. Press tab, bracket close, comma, bracket open. Now I want to give the name of the column. For example, I want to give the name of column region. Select this region, tab, square bracket closed. You have to close the square bracket once again. This will only give the heading of this column because the item specifier which we have used here is hashtag header. Hashtag header refers to the header of the table only. If you want to get the headers of entire table, then we simply need to remove the column reference here, and then accordingly we have to remove one additional square bracket here. Here we go. We got the header component of this entire table, sales 2023. Now, one more item specifier. Let's refer to sales 2023. You can see it is selected here automatically. Now I want to refer to data only. I will type one more square bracket first, hashtag data, bracket close, comma, one more square bracket, and the data of which column I want. I want the data of month, for example. Bracket close, again bracket close. Here I got it. I got the data of this column only. No header here, no totals here. I can also get the data of, say for example, sales here, sales column here, tab. I need to close the bracket. This is only the data portion of this table. No headers, no totals, as you can see that. One more item specifier is totals. I can refer to total here. Sales 2023, square bracket, again square bracket, hashtag totals, square bracket close, comma, now name of the column of which total I want. For example, sales, square bracket close, again bracket close. This will show me the total portion of that particular column only. 53558. Now, if I want the entire data, let me use entire data now. Hashtag data, hashtag there's one more item specifier which is called all. Sales 2023. As the name suggests, all. Let's try this. All of column sales. That means all the component of column sales. Header, data, and totals. Now one more thing. If we want to refer to data of any particular column, we do not need to mention this item specifier hashtag data. By default, if we just type in the name of the table and then refer the table, the column which we want, it will take the item specifier by default as data. Now one thing we can do here is we can wrap this data in some function. Now, this is very important. Now we are very much aware of the structured reference. Now let's use this data in these tables to perform some flexible calculations. Here 2023, I want total liters of sale of the year 2023 and sales and monthly average. How can I do that? I hope you have learned the formula of indirect. Indirect is a lookup formula which allows us to refer to data referred by a text. If I type in the table name here, sales, and then provide the reference to column which is liters sold, it will give me the data of liters sold from table 2023. Now if I just type it in here without equals, this is just a text. I can use indirect function to get the data referred to by this text. Now let's make this dynamic with the help of concatenate. Sales, quotes close, and %sign to concatenate, and I want to concatenate cell C5 which shows the year. Again, and %sign, concatenate, bracket, liters sold, quotes close, and I can see this is sales 2023 liters sold, same as the structured reference name of this column. If I change the year here, you can see this sales 2024 now. If I change it to 2025, it will change. So now we are ready to move it. So now we are ready to move further. If I just use indirect function here to refer to this text, which is actually a structured reference name, it will give me the data here. I can then use the formula of sum, the function of sum here. There I go. If I use or copy all this again here, first sales, concatenate with this cell C5, again concatenate, quotes open, liters sold, concatenate. Now if I use indirect, now if I use sum function here, there we go. Similarly, I can use the column of sales here, sales, n person, C5, n person, column name is sales, let me check the column name again, sales. Now use the function indirect. There we go. Now use the function sum. You can see this. It is very easy to use indirect function with the structured reference feature of table. And this is now dynamic. If I change it to 2024, it is changing to sales table 2024. You can see this. Sales 2024, which is actually the name of this table, sales 2024. And this is sales 2024 sales table column. The sum is 61011, 61011. This is how you can make your calculations more flexible and dynamic with the features of table. I hope this will give you a ray of hope to make your work more efficient and more energetic. I hope this will give you a very good idea of how you can use the table function of Excel to make your data more flexible for more flexible and dynamic calculations. Thank you for watching this video.